sometimes it's heartbreaking. Then on that evolutionary journey, we can figure out that we need to be alone at some level of ourselves, because that gives us another level of empowerment and the connection with the divine, with source. It's so important to actually go on that quest, on that journey of that loneliness, and find that deeper connection with the divine. Because when we plug ourselves to it...
If you've ever wondered why you keep attracting, let's say, the same type of partner, how pleasure connects to prosperity, or what it actually means to energetically be magnetic with things in your life, then this is an episode you don't want to miss. We're going to go deep into how the energy you live in every single day actually shapes the relationships you experience, the pleasure you allow, and the abundance you receive. We are talking magnetic power that feels aligned and expansive, and what it really means to embody partnership, of the partnership you desire, instead of chasing it. Our guest today is the beautiful Kinga. She's a love expert who helps heart-centered women step into their soul's purpose, dream relationships, pleasure, and prosperity. Her work centers around real, true love, magnetic feminine embodiment, and divine union. This is from an energetic and transformational perspective. If this calls to you, stay with us, because this conversation isn't just about love, it's about the becoming and the process of receiving abundance. I'm so excited for this topic. It's going to be hot, caliente, Kinga.
Thank you so much, Michi, for beautiful welcoming and for inviting me. I'm so excited about this topic and can't
Your
wait
favorite.
to share. My favorite one, yes, definitely.
Oh my gosh, this is so perfect. And what better than to have this conversation than around February, right? The month of love.
Yeah, actually today, literally in Australia where I live, it's Valentine's Day. So it's a perfect
That's so cool.
day.
Yeah, so awesome. So you guys celebrate it too, even though they say it's a made up, say, holiday. But in a way, it's like, why not enjoy it, right? It's like the frequency of the air. So let's play with it and embody it and love it, right?
Yes, and I believe that if there is an opportunity to celebrate, we always do. I always do with my husband. So we have 2 anniversary, one as a couple, one as our wedding, and all sorts of different celebration. If there is opportunity, why not?
It's about the energy, and why not be happy as long as we are grateful and our frequency just stays high and works for our benefit. So, my gosh, there's so much to talk with you about.
I know.
But so fun. Let's just take it from the beginning. I want to know and hear about, how did you come to find that this was your passion, this whole thing about love and pleasure and the way that love works in our life? It's not only, being intimate with someone. It is a matter of everything in our life. And I want you to just explain what necessarily does that mean, and how does that bring abundance into our life?
Yeah, for me, it was very personal experience. When I moved to Australia, I really wanted to change my life on every level. And one of that was the romantic relationship as well. I just knew it didn't work the way I desire as a woman. I was very successful, ticking all the boxes, and I normalized lots of things, including relationship with family, friends, romantic. But deeply inside, I just felt like I can't settle for this. It wasn't enough. And I just stepped on this journey more of the more meaningful life. And on the way, I discovered that love is my biggest drive. Love is the biggest purpose for me, that no matter what I do, where I go, it always come back to love. Unlearning, actually, that was the biggest challenge, unlearning the conditioned love that is quite toxic and unhealthy for us, and all sorts of like connections and finding it's like kind of like we unlearn. When we unlearn, we let go of the stuff that don't serve us anymore, because at the bottom of us, at the core of us, there is this divine essence, and that divine essence actually means divine love. And the big part on that journey was stepping into feminine essence, because I was very feminine on a surface level, like I could wear dresses, I could like show up as a woman and so on. But the biggest reality check for me was like how I felt in my romantic relationship. And I was in control, I was in charge, so I was in my masculine most of the time. And I desire actually to feel soft, to make men to be in charge and like support and devoted. First, there was this awareness of like blaming him. And then I figured out it's like, no, I'm creating this dynamic 50-50. So I needed to actually let go of my identity and step into who I wanted to be, so I could have that relationship and love that I desired.
Yes. And for people listening, when you were explaining conditioned love, like there's a difference. Can you explain what's the difference between conditioned love and what you're talking about now?
The topic is so vast, to be honest, Michi, yeah? Because when we look at the human experience, it's always conditioned at some point. But to find that, first it starts from the idea. It's like, what does it mean? Like, and for me, it was, I wanted to be accepted for who I am, truly, because I was abandoning myself on many levels, towards romantic relationship, towards relationship with my family, at work, and so on. And it was almost like my whole life journey from I remember, yeah. So I had to really like try to learn how to be most authentic self, don't abandon myself, and stop rejecting myself and the fear of being rejected by others or shame, like, and criticized and so on. So my desire was like, I wanted to be accepted for who I am. And as a result of that, I had to also learn to accept others for who they are, yeah, not the desire. Because the biggest problem that I see when I work with women is like they have this expectation, and it's great, we have high standards, but they have desire to like to have that relationship from that point of fantasy, but they are not there yet. They are not, they didn't embody, they are not fully in that frequency of that relationship. Therefore, there is no man that will meet that criteria. And I was like that as well. Even being years in my relationship with my husband, I was still like conditioned to his best version that he didn't enter yet.
Yeah. So like and more on that pedestal.
Not even pedestal, but like for many women, like we see the highest potential of ourselves and others, and we wish that person will be living in that highest potential. So it's conditioned already, like we want that person to be in the highest potential, but it doesn't look like that where we are right now. Where we are right now, we need to accept it fully without any conditions. Not wish that like one day it will happen, because we always judge ourselves and others. And that was about me. Like I had like always high standard to ourselves, but really fully embrace and own that like, no, I'm loving myself unconditionally for who I am right now. Yes, I'm aiming to be better, always grow, always evolve. But at this current moment, I'm fully accepting myself, my husband, my partner, my family members, because that's the big part as well. Like if we don't accept our parents, it's really hard to accept our partners.
And do you think that so when we have our idea of love, right? All of us have this different idea, our own belief of what love should be like. Do you think it's related to our upbringings and how we were brought up?
Yes, absolutely. It all starts how we grew up, from the literally being in a mother womb. We already take energetic cord from the dynamic between mother and father and mother and her mother, so grandmother. And that dynamic,
like generational.
Yes, and that dynamic is very unconscious. And if we grew up in an environment that this is the only word we know, we think it's normal.
Yeah.
So we like it.
Yep. And so that's why you're saying the best way to then move forward is to kind of strip and release and let go and shed all of our older beliefs, right? Because some of them may be limiting beliefs.
Yes, many of those beliefs are really limiting. I always say, like, you don't have to overwhelm yourself with everything all at once. I was at some point of my life that I was just like everything. But it's a painful journey, to be honest, in a way that, like, figure out what doesn't work for you right now in this present moment and strip back this. And if you always like aim for more and like for growth and evolution and going higher and higher, then eventually you will strip back more. I figured out years ago that like always aim for more, but what works for me, it's great.
Yes, 100%. And so how are you making love and pleasure work for you in life? For people listening, because they're thinking like, oh yeah, we need to love everyone and love everything. Love is good. But it's not only that. And I'm just now diving deeper. You know, for years I've studied chakra healing and studied with energy healers, learning how to enhance the aura and balance ourselves energetically. The sacral chakra, the second one, the one above your root, is deep linked into pleasure and creativity, right? So with what you teach and your expertise in love and pleasure and how to bring more prosperity in your life, do you think it all stems from energetically what we are embodying?
Yeah, especially for us women, because we are all about, like, the feminine essence, it's about being, and being, it's about feeling it all. So I think that chakra centers are the best point for us to have that reality check, how we feel on our heart level with bringing love, receiving love, and sharing love, how we speak up our truth, yes, so our throat, the solar plexus, how we share our truest feelings, emotions, even the most uncomfortable one, because there is so much like over there, even rage, sadness, all of that, they're all welcome. And there is like lower chakras, which is the womb and the sacral chakra and the base chakra, the root chakra, which is often very suppressed. I see that, and that was my journey as well, that for years I had open heart and I was like sharing love so abundantly, but the bottom chakra to lower chakra were like still disconnected. There was no flow between the heart and the sacral, so I was wobbly. I was like giving love but didn't have proper boundaries. And then like people would take it for granted, or I felt like betrayed, and I would just like feel like emotional roller coaster. The whole thing with the sacral chakra is like being so crystal clear and assertive that what you're inviting into your world, what you're welcoming, and how you want to share whatever you want to share in your life.
Yes. That is so true. I was a similar way. I never in the past, in my younger self, I didn't know what in the world energy centers were. But having kids in my early 20s, I was in go mode, survival mode all the time. And so the root chakra was like grounded stability. I'm the rock, I'm the this and that. And I lost myself. And of course, as mothers, absolutely, you do give your all to your children. We just have to, as women and as mothers, just remember not to lose yourself. We have to keep good flow and fill our cups up as well. So until we can get all this energy to flow properly, this is where our aura also expands, right? Being happy, love, and pleasure, and whether with your partner or not, there's so much magic to it. And that's why I was so excited to bring you on, because you can explain best
First of all, I want to say that I met women that are not interested in that, and that's fine too. Yeah, like very even close to me women, it's not their priority. Like for me, it is important to feel that, not just on a soul level, but on a body level. And that embodiment for me, it means like I'm a living truth, and I witness that in my world when it comes to connection with others or event experiences. So the first thing is like the concept. We have some inspiration, we desire something, and often it comes from watching someone like, oh, they have it, and they connect some like with something deeper inside them. But it's kind of like awakening. So there are like these little nudges of activations, or we can do some kind of processes that will activate that. And when we activate that pleasure, like even from the womb, from the pussy, I love to say like straight from the pussy, because like for me, womb, to be honest, wasn't enough. I needed to feel that pleasure from the pussy, literally like how it's opening up through the holistic, magical, beyond the human experience, that kind of senses and the frequency, but also in my body. Yeah, how it really like gets so excited and wet and full of like aliveness and rich and so on. So I desire this because I felt like, okay, like I'm very sexual person, I'm very sensual person, but does it really makes me so alive? So I decided that it doesn't matter that I have this concept and I have this small activation. I knew that I want to embody that, like I want to hold that pleasure, not that it lasts 5 seconds or 5 minutes or during some kind of achieving goals, inspiration. Yes, like sometimes it's like even inspiration that we are so motivated and we feel that excitement, we feel that aliveness, we feel that arouse energy, but it doesn't last. And I figure out that like if it doesn't last, it's like it's not enough for me. It means that I'm not living truth. And I could see also the kind of reality check outside of me that, of course, it doesn't last. It's not continuous. So I was like, how I actually can learn to hold it. And many women, and that was me as well, we are so scared to hold the pleasure. Like we feel that it's not safe. We feel that someone take it from us, someone will like judge it, shame us. Yeah. And it's connected with some wounds from this life or past life. It doesn't matter. The matter is to clear this out and learn to hold that pleasure so you can really feel alive, because the whole point of pleasure is aliveness. Like you don't have to like motivate yourself to do something to feel pleasure. You can just feel it, and sometimes it can be very quiet and settled. Yes, there are high like peaks, but there are also moments that we feel low. And during the women are very cycle, like so moon cycle, menstrual cycle, like the year astrological cycle. We can't be at the peak all the time. We can't hold the pleasure. It's a different way of pleasure during different cycles. The most important is loving it.
And no, that's totally the whole purpose is the vitality and living life. Life is so magical in itself, and we were created that way. And whether you're with a partner or not, a lot are ashamed from upbringing, or their religions have been taught that this is bad. Like, don't pleasure yourself. But this is the way we were created, masculine, feminine energy. And this energy is so powerful. We are meant to experience this. Are there certain maybe techniques? Could you share one if there is such a thing for manifestation time? I know that when you are at your peak, this is a perfect time to also manifest, and not manifesting like, oh, woo woo, magical, fairy little dust, but it's more manifesting as in what is it that you truly want. And that thing that you want, if you are thinking of it during your peak time, this actually will help it come to reality and manifest.
Yes, I think the most important is to go on that journey with self, with your own pleasure, how the pleasure won't to feel like to you? Ask yourself that question. How do you want to experience that pleasure? And that can start with the physical pleasure. So let's talk about the physical pleasure, because many women, they kind of surrender, but it's a passive way of being to the pleasure that men give to them, and they are not 100% happy and neither like fulfilled from the pleasure that they receive. So I always say, like, start to give yourself the pleasure that you long for. Being on your own with your own pleasure, I think it's the most safe space that you can give yourself, because like no one is watching, no one is judging, like there is only you, yes, but if you feel that you have that concept like I want it but it's bad, then letting go of that limiting beliefs, because it's in the mind. Yes, the mind doesn't allow to actually feel the pleasure that is connected with the body. So working on the mind, it's important to break that, and then going deeper into the body level. Once like you are like ready to connect with your body, start to really touch your heart, massage it, like see it. Like I always say, like, because when I work with women in one-on-one, I channel straight away, so I can feel what's happening on the body level where there are blocks. So I can feel like, okay, something is happening in your breast. Yeah, and we'll go deeper, and it's never what women think it is, yes? Quite often there are layers of conditioning until they reach that divine love, that pure essence. We always reach that, because that's our true essence is. But before we go there, like there is so much like disconnection or beliefs and some kind of family cords and so on. Then we can go further and find that like pure love and light. The same is like with womb, the same is with whatever we judge in ourselves, and feel that sensation, because when we feel it, like we know what brings us pleasure, and then it's our responsibility also to share that in a romantic setup with our partner. Because if we don't share, like who is going to teach them? Like we didn't know, like I didn't know, no one taught me how to be, so I needed to like learn how to like discover my own pleasure, and also sharing that with my husband, like what brings me pleasure. Now there is another thing also, because many women, they actually believe like I have this deep soul connection with that man, and they expect that on a physical level, on a human level, the man will know also how to bring that physical pleasure. This is not the same. You may be so aware and so evolved, so aware, like highly advanced conscious woman, very spiritual, but if it's just like that soul level, bring back yourself to the physical body and combine both.
Yes. Well, and you touched on it also, the blockages that sometimes it's very thick to actually break through. It's a matter of acknowledging that perhaps maybe there are some blockages there, just being transparent. And for the relationships, some settle and are just dull, and it's a matter of like, speak to your partner. This is my belief, and I know that many other spiritual workers out there feel the same too, but like years ago, porno became huge, and it's like this whole idea that, oh, this is the way to do it. Theater, pretty much in a way, in all kind of different ways. But when you connect on a deeper, intimate level, it is so much more amazing than what you see over there. What can you say to that? So I think a lot of people are missing out, especially in relationships, because they don't speak about it and they're not transparent. But help us out. What do you think that those in relationships can do to spice it up a bit?
I really truly believe we don't have to spice it up in any specific way, because if we perform that, it's not authentic self and we still feel like a performance. So stripping back, it's really in a moment and knowing how you want to feel your most authentic self, and therefore you are the most magnetic self. So I used to perform very well, yes, like from the, like what we watch, like even porn, like it's everywhere, literally, that the way how we look, like women dress up and all that things and the way how we're supposed to move, like let's say about the sex, yes, because that's the big topic, and that like physical intimacy, there is so much conditioning. It's not our true essence, so it's really a learning. When I wanted to open up to, like my womb and pussy to the divine connection, I realized how much unhealthy connection I had. So like even the orgasm wasn't coming from that space of that highest divine connection with the source. And stripping back, it's not always easy, yeah, like for me it took me like that continuous work months and months, because then I figured out that there was another fear of sexual abuse that I completely forget. Then there was another connection, but that's me. Not everyone has to go there. Like,
Right.
I'm so connected right now also with the past lives and so on. So I was clearing up all that stuff. But the first notch I remember was that like, wow, like I'm really acting in a way how I watch from movies, and that was like, that's not true, that's not very true to me. I just learn, and it becomes our identity, becomes our way of being. And I was very honest with myself and also with my husband that like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to dress up to be sexy, because if I feel like I want to like be fully like in a completely different way of me, like even how I look like, it's more natural. No
Yes.
makeup, no lingerie, it's like no nothing like that. And it turns out that he didn't care about it, because men want the authenticity, and if we connect with another person on a deeper level, they will feel our authentic self, like that deeper level. But it requires stripping back that conditioning and questioning self, and also allowing to connect with another person that also question that conditioning. If you feel like you are in a relationship or you're dating like men who are all about look and performance, like what does it mean about you? Because it's a mirror reflection.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so good what you said. The younger women that are out there these days, it is from everything that we see on social media, on TikTok, and that whole vision of like performing and having to look and do things a certain way. Be authentic. That's how you're going to reach even more pleasure than you're experiencing now. As long as you can find the partner that you're able to feel comfortable with, and from that you can just blossom and flourish from there.
Yes, but I also want to add that at some point you can add, like at some point I started to add like my like makeup. Let's say like red lipstick today. I love it because I don't do it from the necessity. I feel equally beautiful without naked, like fully naked and without any makeup, because I accept myself. And at the same time, I feel sometimes I want to have the beautiful makeup. I'm not actually very good with like a proper professional one, yeah, but I just do the way that serves me and makes me feel good. So I remember last year I was doing the photo session, and it's very provocative for many people. I get it, even for women. I've been there too. I would judge myself years ago for that photo shoot sessions, and it's like front page on my Pussy Power Collective group. But I channeled this. So what I wanted to present, it was me channeling the deepest part of my feminine essence that wanted to step up and show women that it's not performance anymore, it's authentic. So the red lingerie and makeup and like all those like poses, it was like me actually channeling that beautiful pleasure that I felt. And to be honest, like something that you asked before, like how these show up, I was having so much fun with myself, And my husband told me, it's like, wow, like, Kinga, this is like real pussy power. I can feel your pussy power. It's like, it's so authentic, yeah? So he was like more connected with me from that space of like, wow, like, I know how to serve that pussy power. I know how to be devoted, not through kind of abusing, but completely different connection. It's because I channeled that, I embodied that, I was having fun, I knew how to hold that pleasure and not having fears anymore that it will be abused.
Mm-hmm. And so he saw the shift in you energetically when you started feeling more comfortable, more authentic, and then realizing that, no, this is not bad. Like, for me, it's something where I could see somebody is using their sexuality for a purpose to seduce everyone. And to me, it doesn't look classy. Then you have those that are aware of like the beauty of like feminine essence and power and are feeling good and embodying your power. That's magnetic and it's beautiful when you are embodying it in that way. It's a matter of being confident and just being your highest self, this beautiful feminine energy. And it makes you look younger and fresh and more vibrant as well.
I know, yes. And even the concept to midlife, because I can say I'm in midlife, like can't connect with that. It's just like such a foreign concept that like my body doesn't know what to do with that, because I feel so vital and so alive that it doesn't really match my frequency. Because the idea of the midlife, it means like something already passed you, but kind of like you lost it. But if we actually connect with our true essence, we feel like how much we are gaining and awakening every year instead of losing it.
No, that's why being in the midlife, look at me, this is the name of the podcast show, right? And before I'd be like, oh my God, I'm getting older, oh no, but it's sexy and hot. Women like us in our midlife, it's like when we awaken to what life really is about, we are badasses, right? We've been through so much stuff. We all have our different stories.
Yeah.
Some are traumatic, some are not, but we have been through so much from the get-go until now. And so we are like wise, awakened. It's either at this level of midlife, man or woman, you're either going to feel settled and stuck and you lost your spark. That's why I have this podcast for people who are either at that crossroads or maybe they're thriving and they want to keep living that high vibe. Like, being in midlife, it should not at all stop you or feel like you have to settle. There's so many things in life to keep flourishing and embodying this amazing energy that God gave us to feel more alive and to manifest things, that where our energy goes, focus goes, and things come to fruition that way.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so, relationship-wise, here we are, Valentine's Day. For the women and men who are sitting there single, do you think that in life there is one twin flame or soulmate? There's only one somewhere in this earth world right now?
No.
Can you explain, my love? Explain.
Yes, this is the question that I get quite often.
Uh-huh.
It all depends, who do you want to meet, who do you want to connect with and decide to share life or stage of your life, because people have different preferences. I figure out, because I've been in a relationship with my husband 18 years and many things in my life change, like even work-wise. I never could hold work for like longer than 3 to 5 years before I was self-employed. But at some point in this relationship, always, no matter how challenging it was, and I figured out I need to go deeper. And when I went deeper, I find out that love always wins, but it's not necessarily that attachment that we need to stay together. But I learned so much through this relationship. So I don't like put labels, to be honest, because everyone has a different definition about like soulmate is pretty clear, but the twin flame or atomic relationship, all sorts of different connections, it makes people confused if we try to think. Yeah, my relationship with Tom wasn't easy, and it's not easy. It's probably because it's a twin flame connection, and it was a massive transformation for both of us on all levels. Yeah, so I had to surrender to it because my soul, even though as a human I was often like in pain, was doing a happy dance. It's like, this is where you need to go. This is where you need to grow and evolve. And this is what you need to experience. So you are a living example for people who are looking for help, who you are serving. So I experienced many, many things, but I chose to. I don't know where my life will take me in like 10 years from now. I can't say that. But I know that my soul always guides me into like, this matters because I can learn so much on that physical level and the body level and also soul level. The most important is the soul level. What really means that connection. Some people choose more, because twin flame, it is challenging relationship, and not everyone even has that capability, that container to stay in that relationship. So people split and decide to not be together. We're talking about romantic setup, because it can be not just romantic, but we're talking about the romantic, and some people are like years separated, and then they do lots of inner work and they are able to connect, because the twin flame is the most mirror reflection, and it's painful to look at your blind spot literally every day.
And so that's what I want. So that's for people who are listening, because they hear twin flame like, oh, this is the one I'm supposed to be with forever.
They think it's like beautiful.
Yes. And that's what I've learned. We meet certain people. This is romantic relationships. Certain people for a reason at different phases of our life. Some people, if they're lucky, they meet their high school sweethearts and they flourish up until the end of life. That's for some. That's not all. But a twin flame can be, correct me if I'm wrong and you elaborate on it too, but like where we are at our soul level right now, we are meeting another spiritual being that's pretty much like a reflection, a twin flame. Let me see. I have my candle burning here. A twin flame, a reflection of exactly like what you are. Why does it become then so difficult sometimes? That energy of being with your twin flame can be difficult. I've had that experience. Does it mean that this is our forever person, or how do you, because it does get complicated.
It doesn't have to be forever person in this lifetime, and that's also that we need to accept that fully and take that full ownership, because like maybe our soul in this lifetime chose the more important purpose, to like, let's say maybe you chose the purpose of being that leader for your children, or like having a purpose of guiding women into some empowerment, and so on. With the twin flame, it's very tricky because there is so much attachment. Like, I can't exist without that person. That's not true. The whole idea of even meeting your twin flame, you can exist without that person, and you can be whole, full, like feeling full, whether that person is next to you and living with you, or you are not connected at all. Like, there are also twin flame that like one half died, and then what, like you can't be full for the rest of your life? That's so untrue, because there are so many different circumstances. Some people choose, do you want to move into soulmate connection, or do you want to stay in between?
It's just funny that, you know, in our midlife, I'm right now single because I refuse to settle. And we in our ages now, right? I'm in my 40s and I know what I want. And it's not that it's the ego saying that, oh my God, I need somebody, you know, way better, or I have my boundaries, and I believe that there is somebody that's going to be at my level, that deep intimacy, more than just physically, because it's such a turn off every time. And I'm not going to blame it all on Miami, but of just meeting based on attraction, and there needs to be a deeper connection, and this can only happen with people who are really in tune to their self, in tune to this world and reality. And so take it away.
Yes, so like with the different kind of relationship that we choose, I actually wanted to add something, but I think it just slipped out of my mind.
Soulmate, we were going to talk
Soulmates,
about.
yes. So I heard from women that they had like the twin flame connections or atomic even relationship, also many past life, serving like deeper purpose together and so on. But in this lifetime, because there is so much conditioning and wounding and the changes of this life, of this lifetime that we are sometimes we try that. Like I remember one woman told me, it's like, Kinga, I decided to actually have a soulmate because there is so much going on in that atomic relationship that it just too much work, and she wanted to be a mother, and the time was like passing, the clock was ticking, and she's like, I can't be bothered, like I focus on myself, on my own self-growth and that transformation, but I can't be responsible for another person who is like somewhere maybe lost and so on, even though like I feel so connected even telepathically with that person. Physically, the reality shows like we can't be together, and she chose a soulmate, and she said like it's so easy. So she was able to create the life that she desired, to have beautiful children, to have full family, achieve other goals, and step into like purpose, like business wise and so on. And I told her like, you don't know what will happen in the future. Maybe in 10 years or 20 years you will meet at some level, and maybe you will match that level, because the whole idea is matching that level that you are now.
Like a frequency, right?
Yes, the vibration, the frequency, values and standards, everything that you represent. For me, because I was like very like always like once I step into that path, it's full on for me, and I had to be very honest with my husband that I never stop. I only go further, and this is like, Kinga, but I'm not in this professional field. I was like, I know, but you need to match me on that level so we will meet, because otherwise we would just go hard.
Yeah. There's somebody I just had a conversation about this with, and I'm so glad you said that. It's a simple way of putting it. It's as we go through life. I understand marriage to some people is like, you never, no matter what you go through, never gonna divorce. I am both ways with this, because there is to a certain extent where if that person does not allow you to continue, does not complement you, allow you to keep rising and flourishing, what if you make more money than that person? That's okay, but energetically, are you going to be able to keep rising and complementing each other and flourishing in life? So it's not really about material money, it's about energetically being the same frequency and rising, because some people can't take it. What if you keep rising and they can't handle it? And well, then it's up to you to make a decision. Do you stay or do you leave? This person is settling for someone long time, keeping this person locked down. Like they're not on the same level anymore. It's all power of choice, and you've got to make a decision to continue to go higher in life. That's exactly it. Match the frequency.
Yeah, I am very curious about like going higher. I completely understand the concept, but it's like, for me, it's not even going higher anymore, because we need to go very low as well to actually go deeper into that true meaning of life and love. And that means sometimes reaching our like lower self and shadows that we also experience in even romantic relationship, when we think we know. And that was my biggest problem actually as an expert in this field. I was coming from that space of ego, I know better, so I know it, I can feel it. But luckily to me, my husband is like also very honest, and he would just like, Kinga, like this is like bullshit, like I don't buy it, because you don't see me. Like you want me to see you on this level, but do you see me on this level? And that was a big slap in my face.
Yes, you're right, because it's not always peaches and cream and happy, 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 rising, 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 who's going to be able to handle all the different emotions of life? The deep, dark, hitting rock bottom sometimes, but okay, but when you come out of that, the lows, and so you see that person's true colors in every single level, time will only tell, right? Like it's a matter of after you hit, say, that low and all of these problems or deep, dark moments, what happens after? It's the aftermath that you can tell is if this person is really your soul partner or not. Is that how that works?
No, like people believe it works this way. That's the fundamental problem. As we grow and evolve, if we want to reach something more, like in that way of like higher, we actually need to face the boundary condition and the challenges. And that means that there is always a risk that maybe we won't match on this level, even in that twin relationship, even in that soulmate relationship. So I always say, like, if you're willing, to awaken to something, you need to be willing to actually break something. And that means really like breaking up with the not just your identity, but the old relationship that doesn't serve you anymore. And grieving this old relationship, it's a way of kind of like breaking up and separation. Like for me, I thought that once I reach some level, then I will be like always super happy and that's it. But I figured out that like this is not me. I never like stay because I always aim for more growth, more evolution. Just my soul needs that. I know it. There are people who settle and they're fine. Yes, like sweethearts from the high school, like always the same kind of like this. They can go a little bit further, but it's kind of like always the same. They know each other. For me, it was like, no, what I can discover more. So if I want to discover more, I want to step on that new path. I need to also let go of the old stuff. And in this moment, there is massive freeze. Like I experienced many times, like during these 18 years, that I thought that we won't make it. And that was also super important to understand that we don't have to be attached to the idea that we need to do everything so that relation will survive. So we kind of like go apart, not making the decision about the relationship, but everyone needed to find out their own newer truth and then connect again and see it, like, do we match? For us, it was like, yes, we do match, because honesty and authenticity was number one, and that love also beyond the condition was always guiding us. And I want to say that often men are not very spiritual in a way we women think they should be. And understanding that difference, it's so beautiful, and that's actually the unconditional love, that they are spiritual in their own way. So
oh no, I love that. That is so true. Even if you find somebody that you can connect on the soul level, it doesn't necessarily mean he has to be the spiritual master, and I love that. It's like different colors, different shades, and you still have that connection. Only you will know if that is a true soulful connection. So there you go. So you and your partner, you needed that time, not defining or putting a title on what you guys are doing, but you needed, both of you, time to separate, to figure out what it is that you truly needed and wanted, right? That's what you were saying.
Yes, and it literally even happened last year when I went back to Poland, my home country. I just felt my soul like go back home to where it all started. I needed to grieve many things that kind of like ended also, and it felt like the relationship is finishing. But I knew that's not about like making the decision, making any kind of like, this is it and name it, because that's the mind. The mind needs the certainty. But I just like was guided by the deeper truth and just go and see and fully surrender. And I find out what I was looking for there, that connection that I was longing from the feminine women in my life. And it was so much needed. And when I back to Australia, I was very crystal clear like what I'm longing for. And connected with my husband and like speaking about that, but without that control and demanding like I need that. It was more of like, this is me, like I can't hide it anymore, like the truth was revealed to me. And then it's like how we can step up, and he revealed his truth, because during that moment of being apart, he had time also to connect with himself, and we find it like each other on a new level. So it is like a higher level, yeah. But that adjustment, it's not always like easy. And when we actually name it, put the labels on that, we often kind of like make a hard, like rash decision. That's it. Breaking up and
Yeah. And that's exactly, yeah. Because you don't know a couple years down the road where your path is going to lead you. And so the key is to be authentic and be true. Do you think if things become in a relationship so complicated, that's a sign to space and clear, or not necessarily?
It works both ways. So you need to communicate and be honest. If there is lots of challenges that you are not meeting each other on the same level, find your own space and really get crystal clear what it is that you long for, that you desire, and the needs. And also trying to understand, like seeing the bigger picture. Yeah. Sometimes we are so caught up in like, this is my need, this is what I want, this is like, yeah, that desire being there for like so long, but kind of like stepping down in that human experience, like maybe that person actually means the same, but verbalize it in a completely different way, but it's exactly the same thing. Just the human condition, it's so complicated, but that pure divine essence is like, oh, actually we want the same. Yeah? But you need to find that deeper connection with yourself. So I always say, like, get crystal clear what you want and become that and that frequency in yourself. Then you don't have to even make that decision, because if you don't match each other on that level, you just let it go so easily.
Yeah. And that's the key. That is the key to relationships, because some people can be so codependent on who's going to save them. The partner has to be there to make them happy, to save them, to help them. Once we can survive and be on our own and be our own pleasure, our own happiness, it's going to be even better when we find that match, right, on that same frequency. But yeah, there's too much. I think I grew up feeling a little bit like that, like being very codependent on my partner at the time. But then as I grown and to realize, like, absolutely not. And it's like so many people that maybe are not awake yet that believe that they cannot be alone or be able to live alone. But it's a matter of doing your own spiritual awakening and deeper journey inside to be like, you can survive on your own. And until you are fully satisfied, whole and complete yourself, is when you're going to be able to find certain people that match your a higher frequency.
Yes, and I get the point of like many people don't want to be alone, and for me it was always maybe because where I come from my past life and so on, and that connection that I long for, it was really hard for me to actually have that connection with like humans, and I felt lonely even being in a relationship many years, and it sometimes it's heartbreaking. So like, okay, at least I am with someone, but then on that evolutionary journey we can figure out that we need to be alone at some level of ourselves, because that gives us another level of empowerment and the connection with the divine, with source, God, whatever you believe, how you name it. And that means that it's kind of like we are part of the collective. We connect with that closest people in that romantic setup, and we connect with the source, but we also very individual ones. Yeah, and having that loneliness, it's not a bad thing. It's actually something very empowering and something very wise. I don't know, like it's hard for me to language that, because like speaking about it, it's not easy. it's not the
Right.
human experience, but it's so important to actually go on that quest, on that journey of that loneliness, and find that deeper connection with the divine. Because when we plug ourselves to it, we kind of like feel lonely, but we don't feel lonely. It's a complete
Yes.
state of being.
Yes. Being alone sometimes lasts for years because it's a purpose that there's something higher for you, is what I believe, because you are going to really figure out what it is that you want, who it is that you are. And oh my God, you're going to be on fire when you have that time for yourself. And some people have bounced from relationship to relationship to relationship and love being by yourself, you know, and that's where you're really going to know who you are. Sometimes people need to be forced to hit rock bottom for them to see and witness the divine source.
Yes, and no one is the same. Like, no one is like me. No one is like you.
Yep.
We are connected on many levels with like other souls, and like these experiences. It's like I see it as a web of life through all different lifetimes and until it started. But when it started, but at the same time, no one had the same journey as your soul, so no one will get you on that level as you get yourself. There is no way. I was longing for that. I was searching for that for years, and then I found out like, no, this is my unique actually connection with myself. And even that longing that comes from like past, it's mine. Like I can't search that in another person because they don't have the same journey.
Right. Yes. And that's what's so beautiful is when you meet a partner who comes from a completely different background, upbringing, and past generations, yet there's something that's like a spark between them. Two completely different souls come together in a way still connected, right, as a collective, like part of the divine, but in its own separate, beautiful thing.
Yes, absolutely. I always say that if I look through my human eyes, I wouldn't probably choose my partner because I had that image that it must be. Yeah. He knows that because I said that once years ago on the radio, and people would laugh
like, why are you saying that?
It's because we are so full of bullshit, literally, of that conditioning.
I love it. Yeah.
It must be like this way, and it's like at the bottom, at the core essence of us, like no, yes. And I connected with him on a completely different level, and we felt attracted. It was more than the physical attraction, especially at the beginning. Yes, that comfort that we felt and safety to each other, that we could speak about anything, even the most stupid things and mistakes that we did previously, and no one judged it. And that was for me, it's like, okay, that person actually can accept me for who I am, because I was so like professionally labeled with mask that like I'm perfect, at that time.
Right.
But he was like, no, I'm not interested in that. I want to know the other shades of Kinga as well. And I love it.
That's attractive. See, and that is, gosh, that's like pure authenticity. Both human beings to learn all different parts of like everything about that person. So beautiful. And only you, the person, will know. You'll know, right? Like if people are like, is this the one? Is this the one? Sometimes there's too much going on in the brain externally, too much noise. You just need, I think, alone time. And sometimes the space is what's needed to actually know and feel, and you'll know, right? When they reconnect, you'll know if that's the one, if that's the person that you're meant to be with at this moment in time.
Yes, I think the biggest thing is that that person need to make us feel safe. For women is very important. Yes, feel alive, but as we are embody our Shakti, our feminine essence, we feel that aliveness anyway, but does the masculine actually devote to our feminine, support us, and will co-create with us with that safety? Yes, I always ask women, like, does this person makes you feel safe, or does it make you feel like something is wrong with you, and you like your nervous system is constantly triggered? Yeah, because sometimes we are like through our like past experiences, the childhood, like family, how we grew up, we are so attracted to the unhealthy, toxic and addictions. Yes, it feels like
Yeah.
aliveness, but it is kind of addiction to some toxic dynamic. It's like, does it on that nervous system level, on your emotional level, that person makes you feel safe? And if the answer is no, it's like there is something going on. Like, are you making yourself actually unsafe because you maybe never said that to that person that it's not safe to you? Like for me, I was accepting less because I didn't know anything better. But when I was speaking the truth, and it's like, actually, it doesn't make me feel safe. He wanted me to feel safe. So he stepped up because I opened up. But not every person, not every partner we actually do that and have that like self-awareness and kind of like higher, like I want her to feel safe, not kind of like making someone to, I always say that like you need to meet on a adult level, because it's not about partner making your inner child feel safe while you are not doing the inner work, and you're expecting him, yes, to be a parent for you and co-parent your inner child. No, this is your responsibility. But the family needs to feel safe for sure. And if it doesn't feel safe, we either sabotage ourselves, abandon our true self, reject ourselves and feel dead inside, or we leave that relationship.
Oh, that's a key question. So everyone listening right now, have that quiet time to yourself and ask that question right now. If you're doubting yourself, maybe in your relationship now with somebody, do I feel safe with this person in a true, honest way?
Yeah.
That's key. That's golden.
And don't confuse the challenge with safety. Like, challenge is good because it makes us grow. It makes us question our limitation, but we need to find that sweet spot that there is equal amount of the challenge and equal amount of safety at the same time.
Say that one more time. So if being challenged, not to be afraid of that, but repeat that very last thing that you were saying.
So equal amount of challenge, it means that that person that you are connecting with, you are in a relationship, has challenge you, supposed to challenge you, so you can strip back the condition to be better, to aim for more, to see that actually I'm not that perfect as I thought I am, yes, and I can see actually the whole picture. Like, that's how you are being challenged. But if you are not ready to actually take that challenge non-stop, because you feel challenged all the time, like you feel criticism, you feel judged all the time, you need to speak about that and say that that's too much, I can't actually take all that challenge, because that's actually connection with the wounding of not feeling worth enough, not good enough. And if you constantly connect with that wounding, never heal it. So it must be equal like level of that safety, that I can be challenged but at the same time feel so safe. Because for us women, if we don't feel safe, like we feel so wobbly, and that like we feel way much more than men, yes, so the big amount of safety is so important. But if we feel there is only safety and no challenge, we will find ways to kind of sabotage or like do all the like things, yeah. So we bring the wounded,
because we women do that.
Yeah, exactly. The equal amount of that challenge and and the safety. It's like we know inside of ourselves. We just need to be really honest with ourselves and honest with partners and speak about that.
I love that. So as we're getting to an end, because I love rituals, and also when you're single, you can treat yourself, even when you're with somebody or not, but you have even more time when you're alone to just spoil yourself. I love incense and candles and Palo Santo and bubble baths, this and that. For those listening now, take that alone time to ask and go deep within and figure out and ask guidance, ask source, is this person right for me, and do I truly feel safe with this person? But what is something that you can leave us with for women specifically in our midlife, sitting there, what could they do this month, this Valentine's, to make them feel better, like some kind of nice ritual to bring in and call in this beautiful soulmate or twin flame or whatever be it.
Maybe I share what I love the most, because there are so many different ways. If you like movement, then I would say that first it's create that space. So that environment, if at home, then clean up, it's really good. I love it, because if it's like cluttered and messy, I can't relax fully. I don't feel like, just like I kind of ignore like outside, yes.
Yeah.
No, I want to have like both inside and outside. And yes, refresh the house, and then candles, some really nice smell. I love essential oils, so diffusers, Sao Panto or sage for cleaning first, for sure. And then I love diffusing essential oils. It just me. Then set up pretty nice music, and depends on your mood. You may feel like romantic music, you may feel like classical, jazz, or even like electronic, because you feel like dancing. Yeah.
Do. Yeah.
Exactly. Like sometimes I set up some music and I feel like my body is moving already. It's like, okay, like I actually need to move my body and feel connected more with myself, and just put, some more active music, and like I love techno as well, so sometimes I love sensual music, sometimes I love electronic music. It really depends on the mood. And I love bath. I love it. I love connection with the water, because water is the element of your feelings, of emotion. It's the most feminine element. So bath if you can, if not, really nice shower, whether you love like warm or hot. But I find out, and that's something maybe not everyone knows, the way how you wash yourself, it's so important. It's supposed to be like deeper connection, taking time to sense your body, to touch your body in a way that really brings you pleasure, not just like, I wash myself and it's done. Like, even I didn't like wash my hair for so many years, and then I figured out, how about I just enjoy it, and I would massage my head and feel the pleasure through it. And this is
mindful.
Be mindful, be very present, connected with your senses, connected with your body, connected with your pleasure.
Yes.
And then do whatever you want to do. Give yourself pleasure, read the book, watch the movie, connect with someone, read a book, whatever you want. Yes, the list can go on. Or I love also connection with the nature. That's why I said to my husband this morning,
me
to go
too.
to the beach.
Oh my God, the beach is one of my favorites. And here in Miami, I love it, and it's very cleansing and such a high vibration. Being in God-given elements and nature is just very healing without you having to do anything. So I agree with you. Is there like an affirmation that someone should say to make sure that the universe is going to bring in the right person? Are you big on affirmations or no?
I'm not very big on affirmation, to be honest, because my experience from the beginning was that I would repeat that, but never fully felt that truly in my body. So it was like a mind, so it just like goes and
So
I would
to
just
each their own.
Exactly. But I wasn't connected with my body, yes? And when I started to connect with my body and open up, then I could feel it and I could say it. So I would sit in front of the mirror, and that's another ritual. It's
that's a tricky one.
Yes. Sit naked in front of the mirror and look at yourself. Break the layers, whatever it's like showing up, popping up, and sit for as long as you can and start to talk to yourself things that are true to you, and connect with that deeper layer of yourself. Because sometimes it's easy to connect and say, I am love, I am powerful, I am beautiful. Sometimes we look at some parts of our body and we will judge it. And that's normal. Like, it's not easy for everyone to just say, like, I love my boobs, but we hate it. Yeah. Like I
Right.
would say, don't say the affirmation because it will never work and you will kind of like deny yourself. And what's the point of being dishonest with yourself? But connect with the part that means a lot. And if you want to actually speak the affirmation that will help you, you can challenge yourself or you can just amplify what you already feel. 2 ways, always.
Exactly. For sure. But eventually you will need to reprogram yourself, whoever's listening, to challenge and to be better.
Yes. And for those who are more advanced and love that mirror ritual, like self-reflection, being naked, go even deeper and put that small mirror literally next to your pussy and speak to your pussy and see how you connect.
That's a Valentine's surprise right there.
Because there is so much going on there.
Right? Yeah. And a lot of people neglect down there as well.
Yeah.
That's
if we want to feel the pussy pleasure, we need to start to connect with our pussy in a way of also looking at her, speaking to her, feel her, and know what she needs.
Not neglecting. Exactly. It's not just to give to the other person, and that's that. It's powerful and energetic. God created, and that is what's giving our vibrancy in life.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what a hot ritual to do. So fun. With candles around, with the nice soft high vibration music would be amazing.
Yeah, and make sure you are safe. That's the most important. Yes?
100%. Oh my God, Kinga, I love you. You're so authentic and so true. I love it. And where, if people are hearing this and saying, I need to connect with this woman, what is the best website or handle that they can find you and connect with you?
I have a website with all offerings, free trainings, and the more like high-end advanced, because I created and channeled the whole pathway from the beginning. If you're starting this journey of the healing, your inner child, the family patterns, if you're stepping into magnetism, or even if you go further and serving for others, that the divine union certification. So everything is on my website, KingaElizabeth.com. I'm very active on social media, especially on the Facebook. And on Facebook, I have also a group, Pussy Power Collective.
Woo!
Yeah.
Perfect. We'll drop those below in the description for everybody to find you there. This is more like a community of women and empowering them in their femininity and what we were born to be, just our natural light and vibrancy.
Every woman, even men, are invited to this group, but the self-conscious and aware, it doesn't mean that like there is a certain level that they need to reach. It's the willingness to actually like, oh, that's something that I'm connected with. I'm connected with the heart center people. I'm connected with love. I'm connected with pussy power and our own self, like that deeper level and the divine connection as well. And if you already resonate with this, you are welcome in this group. I always say, like, you don't have to reach any kind of level because it's a free group. It's a private group. Yes, we are selective because sometimes it happens that random people want to go there. Yeah, but that's life, like everywhere.
Yeah.
So yes, being selective, answer the questions for sure. That are just free questions in the group, and we need to be open up and enjoy, because I go live almost every week. I share lots of real life experiences, insight, tools in the group, so it really gives you like the foundation of like how to be more feminine and feel yourself and step into that pleasure, into that prosperity with the soul purpose.
That's so beautiful. That's powerful, right? Feeling better, feeling more empowered, and just like that, life will just flow better. And I adore your spirit. I love that you have no shame and you're just speaking truth and just being your true authentic self, and I love it.
Thank you. And I want to say, I was full of shame. I was full of self-judgment. Stripping back and peeling that layer of conditioning, it just opening me up to that authentic self that I don't care anymore because I rather be my true self and inspire others and connect with women on this level that also long for, instead of just constantly like connect with those that still they will be shaming you, they will be criticizing
and talking
you.
a lot. Exactly.
The biggest critic is always us.
No, true. But if people are to act, because that's how I am now. Before, I used to be major people pleaser and major worried about what others would think of me from the things I say. Yeah. But now we don't give a shit. And now we are living our true self, but for the higher good, for the highest good. And when we act in this way, high vibration, opportunities start coming. You never know who you're going to meet, connections you're going to make, and things that happen, so it's just powerful when you live that way.
Yes, and it's always evolutionary journey. Even my group started from awakening your inner goddess into dream team relationship, and then felt like that's actually not enough because I was stepping into different vibration and different connection. So then it progressed into Pussy Power Collective because it felt so like alive in me.
That's so fun. Oh my God, because that's so you. You're like, that's not enough, but it's so fun. Oh my gosh. And it's a beautiful thing, people. So I love that we can sit here and laugh about it. I wish for everyone out there listening to have fun. Life on this earth right now is short. Just live the best that we can, because we're going to keep coming back to learn lessons until we learn it. And why not live our best right now, Thank you, Kinga. You're so awesome.
Thank you. You too. Beautiful.